Hey, what the heck? I wanted to have a chill night, drinking my Topo Chico, and then gotta get the Truth Social post. Now here I was thinking I was gonna get a Truth Social post from Donnie T, going, Jerome Powell, why didn't you cut today? You're such a loser. Well, Mr. Too Late apparently sent a very clear message to Mr. Donnie T, and that message was, once y'all figure out how to actually get trade deals done, then we'll start cutting. And so as a result, what do we have? We have this Truth Social post. Okay, here we go. Big news conference tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Oval Office. Be there. Meet Kevin will be live streaming it. Look, there's a notification from the Meet Kevin app that I'm live. That's like a convenient placement, isn't it? It's like as I'm... Anyway. What other notifications am I going to get while I'm live? Anyway. Okay. Concerning a major trade deal with representatives of a big and highly respected country. The first of many. All right. Interesting. So, all right. Here's the play for this. First of all, you got to think about this as Jerome Powell, in my opinion, helping nudge this over the edge. It's my guess. We did not get a single complaint about Jerome Powell that I saw today, which is huge. The fact that we didn't get a complaint about Jerome Powell probably means that Donald Trump finally gets it. That, oh, so what you're saying is if I start doing trade deals, then you'll lower rates? Okay. So, oh, wow. What a coincidence. The very next morning, not even 24 hours later, J. Powell ends up basically twisting Donnie T's arm into a trade deal announcement. Now, I'm not saying this wouldn't have happened otherwise, but we'll see. Now, apparently there are representatives here. I don't know. Maybe somebody knows which representatives are actually present here. I mean, we just had Canada here. It doesn't sound like we're close on a deal with Canada. To me, what it sounds like is we're probably closer on a deal with India, maybe the United Kingdom. But in my opinion, India needs the most help right now because they just got, themselves into a potential war with Pakistan. Now, India just signed a free trade deal with the United Kingdom. So to me, it sounds like India is kind of willing to spread the cheeks and go, give it to me. Whatever you want, Donnie, we'll bend the knee because we just want America. In fact, can you get Apple to come here? Can you get all the chip makers to come here? You know what? Forget Taiwan semiconductors. How about India semiconductors? And we'll include tech support. I don't know. India would probably love the chip business. And I'm not talking Doritos. India would love more of America's business. So I actually think India is an interesting position where they can kind of just go, just get whatever you want, Donnie. At the same time, they just did a 0-0 free trade deal with the United Kingdom. So the precedent's kind of set. They want our tech business. They want to be the China replacement. Donnie T doesn't have the fentanyl drama that he has with China, with India. So India is basically going to war and they probably need us. So India, in my opinion, is the most primed for a delicious trade deal. Now, the problem, though, is, as exciting as this is, okay, India ranks our 10th largest trading partner. That's still a big deal, okay? You can see that on this chart here. See? Year-to-date total trade. Guess what? I took a screenshot of the Census Bureau 2025 total trade. It's not that hard, okay? Number 10, India, all right? Exports, imports, percent of trade. Oh, damn it. It's only 1.8%. Yeah. So, big picture, if it's India, it ain't that big of a deal. But futures are really excited about it because it potentially, as I wrote here, shows signs of compromise. Donald Trump actually making a deal. That's progress. Of course, our biggest trading partners year to date, China, Canada, or the 51st state, and then Mexico, 14.2%. Canada will never be the 51st state, by the way. Japan 5-1. There's a possibility, Japan, because representatives have been in the United States. However, they left without a deal. And so so I don't know what representatives are here, but it doesn't matter. It's probably India. If it's not India, it could be somebody else on this list who has a really big desire to make a deal. We haven't seen much talk about Vietnam, so I don't think it's going to be Vietnam. We haven't seen much, although that would be really good for Restoration Hardware, okay? If it's Vietnam, you go calls on Restoration Hardware, that sucker's going straight to the moon over 200, okay? If it's India, I don't really know what's going to win bigly here in terms of like company specific, because we're really looking at maybe establishing those supply chains and just don't have those yet. Now, with India, you know, we do metals, you know, whatever, some machinery, aircrafts, chemicals, you know, that's what we send to them. And from them, we get pharma. Now, interestingly, we just got Donald Trump's big, beautiful announcement about, you know, Medicaid and all this, whatever. So maybe it's pharma related and has something to do with sectoral tariffs, and it's kind of related to that. And remember, there are a lot of different layers of tariffs, which we'll unpackage in just a moment. If it's Japan, obviously cars are going to be a big one, cars and steel. And if it's the United Kingdom, I don't know, French fries? I don't know. I mean, like, I maybe the is Alfa Romeo? That's Italian, isn't it? I don't know that car company that well. Alfa Romeo. Yeah, it's Italian. So I don't know what. Oh, I guess maybe like Range Rover, right? Aren't they Jaguar? Maybe. Who cares, right? Like that, it would also be a small deal. So those items I don't think matter so much. I think what matters more though is it could create a template for future deals, and that makes me most excited. So look, for example, at the disaster that we have with Japan. Okay, Japan's a total disaster. In terms of how many tariffs we have. And this is why it's really frustrating to hear people like Kevin Hassett say what he did. Now, I'm going to tell you about both those things in just a moment. I just want to mention this morning, and I just have to brag about this, okay? This morning, before the market opened, I said a Tempest AI could get violent. Watch it at the open. It could be up 8 to 12%. It literally went from negative 6% to over 11% positive. On the QQQ in the Alpha report this morning for course members, I said, watch QQQ. 479, 476 are in play. We got 4 bounces on 479, 1 at 476, and I said we'd bounce after the Fed. Literally bounced after the Fed. Also said open door could explode up from 13%, and it went up to 30% from 13%. And then I also said don't bother playing Disney because the 10% move's already priced in and it's never going to go anywhere today. And it literally traded sideways all day long. And then I suggested that AMD would fade gains, and it did. So I just have to say, today's Alpha report belongs in a freaking museum because all of those nailed it. And if you're part of the Meet Kevin membership, you can get that Alpha report every single day, and you can see that. All right, I had to get that out of the way because I thought it was freaking awesome. But anyway, then here's Japan, all right? So here's the thing with Japan. And this is what makes things complicated. So earlier, Kevin Hassett was, you know, basically being a little weenie baby, and not as much as a weenie baby as Gavin Newsom. You know, you got to follow me on Twitter for this kind of stuff on X. See, Gavin Newsom will literally go fact check tweets that have 12 views. That's how desperate they're getting to find stuff to fact check. Is that Gavin Newsom will fact check stuff with 12 views? Okay, hate the guy. I mean, look, I'm not really anti-people. I'm anti-policies. Now, let's just say I hate Gavin Newsom's policies so much. I just seethe anytime I see the guy's face or doing something. Unfortunately, correlated. But then look at what Kevin Hassett said. So earlier it was reported that Kevin Hassett said the following. Okay, go away. What? There we go. Kevin Hassett just now. I'm dismayed that Federal Reserve, he left that. I'm dismayed that Fed has bad economic modeling as to what happens with tariffs. And then I'm like, wait, he's confused as to what we're confused about? Because I'm pretty sure we have sectoral tariffs plus fentanyl tariffs plus reciprocal tariffs minus negotiations plus auto tariffs plus auto parts tariffs plus steel and aluminum tariffs plus surcharges. Okay, So Kevin Hassett, I don't think you could be confused as to why the Fed is confused, because the entire world is confused at your administration's trade policies. But that's why tomorrow is so damn important, because when you look at this, it's a giant cluster F. This is crazy. Okay, U.S. tariff measures on Japan, steel and aluminum, 25%. Automobiles and auto parts, 25%. Reciprocal tariffs, suspended for 90 days, flat 10%, plus an additional surcharge of 14%. Okay, so now this is the interesting part, is when this announcement comes tomorrow, we want to figure out, hey, are we going to 0-0? Like, are we going to get rid of all tariffs? Are we going to get rid of 100% of tariffs? Or are we just going to get rid of one of the damn tariffs? Okay, that's why we got ourselves some big problems here. That's why I'm wearing the "Don't Sue Me, Bro." Okay, who remembers "Don't Sue Me, Bro"? All right, listen, I just got done with a run. It's been about 5 damn months since I've been on a run, because now I got to train for a marathon. I don't know why I signed up for a half marathon, but I signed up for a half more marathon with course members, and that's going to be in August. So I got some damn work to do. I decided to become a pilot instead. Why did I do that? I don't know. Now I could go, ooh, I'm a jet pilot. Ooh. All right. Okay, fine. But point is, the news changes so freaking rapidly, I can't even go on a run without having to throw on the "Don't Sue Me, Bro" shirt, drinking Topo Chico, and wondering what's going to happen. So this announcement from Trump comes tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's 7 Pacific, 9 Central. That makes it 8 Mountain Time. Okay, and if you're in Hawaii, it's 5 a.m. Sucks for you. So I'll be live, but the big thing for me is, are we going to get a full removal, or are we just going to get like one portion of a trade deal? And that's going to matter to the market. So the market will already be open for 30 minutes at that point. So the market's probably going to trade a little tenuously tomorrow morning until we get that announcement. But if the announcement is literally something stupid, like, hey, you know, we did a pharmaceutical waiver of tariffs with India, and we're going to do no tariffs at all on pharmaceuticals. Meanwhile, reciprocal tariffs stay, auto tariffs stay, and all the other bullcrap stays, then it's not going to be much of a template. But I do think that good old J. Powell actually did a really good job today of screaming at Donnie T and saying, Donnie T, get a deal done. Because if you get a deal done, we can lower rates. And if you don't get a deal done, well, I guess we'll be sitting here for the next year patiently. Yeah. All right. So let me see what some of the doomers are saying about this. You know, sometimes the doomers have good information on this stuff. Sometimes they don't. So it's worth looking. We'll take a quick glance at the doomer media. All I saw earlier was this Washington Post piece about signals or cables, they call them, basically, you know, memos encouraging other countries to approve Starlink to get trade deals done, which is great for Elon Musk, great for SpaceX, great for the people who invested with me in SpaceX and our VC fund. Probably not the least, dare I say, the C word, corruption. Sorry, that's a dirty word, Kevin. Go wash your mouth out with soap. Anyway, Trump teases major trade announcement with big country. Donald Trump has said he plans to hold a news conference Thursday to discuss a major trade deal with representatives of a big and highly respected country. The news conference in the Oval Office is scheduled for 10 a.m., so it'll be late. Didn't elaborate on which country. Trump has faced political pressure to find an off-ramp from the tariffs. Details of the announcement were not made clear, but Trump signaled that it would be the first of many. Nobody's ever seen this many. Any agreement would come with significant caveats. Full-scale trade pacts typically take years to negotiate, and talks with several nations have centered around, at best, a top-line deal on commitments and intentions that many details traditionally included in comprehensive trade agreements will be negotiated later. So in other words, here's Kevin being excited, and then good old doomers have to say, well, it's just not going to have all the details yet, which is probably also true. Probably also just as true as Ukraine potentially de-dollarizing and trying to go to the euro. But honestly, that's because they need more funding support. And, you know, Donnie T isn't exactly handing over the dollar hollers like good old Joe Biden's staff did. Because we all know it wasn't Biden. Anyway, all right. Let's see what other complaints there are out here. So, well, first we could also look at the overnights. So the chart doesn't work because it's stupid. So you kind of just have to look at the left side here. And you can see the Qs overnight up 70 bips. Overnight on NVIDIA is up 132. HIM's rocketing even more. Tesla's up 69 basis points. Open Doors up some more. Wow, Tempest went up 12.59. See, this is what I sent out in the alpha report. I'm like, watch this sucker at the open because it's going to be a violent up was my take. And I mean, after it had an initial dipply doodlah, the first like 5 minutes of trade, it was literally up the rest of the day. Crazy. And then, of course, we got our post-Fed bounce. But that's obvious. I mean, like, the data tells you that's pretty, you know, consistent. That's to be expected, basically. All right. So then what else do we have? I don't know. Let's see what other people. Lucio here says respected country in quotes. The chip announcement. You got to be careful with the reading into the chip announcement too much because there's it's not entirely clear how much NVIDIA benefits versus just specific countries. Like some people suggest it's just Saudi Arabia that benefits. TBD, because we still expect sectoral chip tariffs. So they're really just getting rid of certain rules that Biden had in place in favor of certain countries. It's all just like hit or miss. It's just a disaster. It's hard to say that regarding the chip deal. But as far as anything else, I don't really see anything else in terms of news. I'm going to try the FT. Sometimes the FT, I mean, because if it's the United Kingdom, they might have some insight. No, I don't see anything on the FT, which is somewhat surprising. So it's probably, that makes me think it's not the United Kingdom. Let's see here. The Wall Street Journal doesn't even have anything on their homepage about this yet, which is kind of crazy. And so nice and slow, I guess. Sometimes WAPO, which I know a lot of people hate, but sometimes they actually have some stuff on breaking news. But it doesn't look like they know anything about this deal either. Just because this should be like front page news, and it will be in the future, but it's just not yet. So it's like it's a little too early for them. So Barron's is usually a little slower because they're more of a magazine, so we're not going to see them. They're sort of weekly issue. I love Barron's, don't get me wrong. No, nothing there yet. Yeah, probably too soon to really see some details here. But anyway, that's my take on what's going on. It's going to be a template. But again, bad news. Okay, here's the bottom line on it. Bad news at the announcement tomorrow at 7 a.m. and I'll be live streaming it. By the way, if you don't get the freaking announcement because of my notifications, it's your fault. And I'm saying that because you could solve that problem by having the Meet Kevin app. You download the Meet Kevin app, pick the notifications you want. And then when there's breaking news like this or tomorrow morning or whatever, you don't have to rely on the YouTube notifications or Twitter or whatever you're doing. Forget the algorithm. Get the notifications you want. So you could literally check the box. Like, I want all Fed videos, and that's it. I want nothing else. But theoretically, you could even press, I only want pilot videos and nothing else. Whatever you want. You can customize it. So get the Meet Kevin app, Apple and Android App Store. That said, we'll be live tomorrow at 7 a.m. The bottom line is, if it's Vietnam, you buy restoration hardware. If it is a 0-0 deal with India, like full free trade, it is mega bullish. Because it means Donald Trump is willing to go to zero. That's huge. If Donald Trump is willing to go to zero, it is pure bullish. You might even be able to avoid a recession, okay? Big bull. If it's something stupid, like, we're going to keep the reciprocal tariffs because fair is fair, but no tariffs on pharmaceuticals from India. I'm not going to call for a market sell-off, but I'm not going to go calls. Because it's not going to, like, the market's really not going to sell off until we start getting nasty hard data. Okay. Until then, until the shelves are empty and until people are actually panicking, and until Q1 earnings are over, you're not going to see a sell-off. This is why I keep telling people, there's a lot of people like, Kevin, not financial advice, bro, but when should I sell some stocks to invest in house tech? And then I'm like, all right, here's what you do. You set a trailing stop. Okay. I've been saying it for like 15 days now. It's old news now. Okay. You set a trailing stop. That way you set, NASDAQ 100, 10% trailing stop, something like that. And as soon as it drops 10%, ding, go throw it into house tech if you want, not personalized advice or something else or cash. I don't care, whatever you want to do, but milk it while you can. And tomorrow's trade deal, if it's a 0-0 deal, we could moon this. Now, obviously, the market right now is not discounting a recession. The only places that are really discounting a recession to some extent right now are small caps and oil. Okay, oil, I'm pretty sure, right? Actually, I know with a fact over here because I quote tweeted it and then I got blocked for it. Over here is where Tom Lee said go all in on small caps, and I'm like, well, that would be retarded going into a recession. And then he blocked me. All right, well, the small caps are discounting for a recession much more than the Qs are right now. Fine, whatever. And then an oil is. But beyond that, the SPY, Dow, NASDAQ, mega caps, not really discounting for a recession. Maybe we won't have one. And if we get a 0-0 deal tomorrow, it's bullish. Back to buy the dip. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Okay? Nobody knows. Buy the dip.
Gain the lead.
Like me, Kevin. So, yeah. All right, let's do another quick little refresh just to see if there's anything else we need to look at here. Yeah, U.S. futures rise after Donald Trump's post. Futures erased earlier losses and rose after Trump said in a truth post about the 7 o'clock meeting tomorrow, California time. I'll be live for it. Traders have stayed cautious because of the Fed, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de. Trump earlier said he's unwilling to preemptively lower tariffs on China in order to unlock more substantive negotiations with Beijing on trade. Stocks got a lift after they announced plans to talk in Geneva, Switzerland on the weekend. Market turbulence, blah, blah, blah. How good the news will be is the biggest question confronting everybody now. Duh. And that's it. All right, cool. So if you want the Alpha report for some trade ideas, go to meetkevin.com. You want to invest in HouseHack, go to househack.com. All right. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. That's all I got. Go drink some more Topo Chico, and I'm going to go make a Google or Palantir video or something.